are you down?
Oh, not at all. I mean, it's a new week, new energy. We're looking forward to doing great and amazing
But what
things.
happened with Kotoko their last game?
I mean, a lot of the time, I think maybe the sports guys will better explain it. The football it gets very mathematical in the last few games, especially when a trophy is lost. It becomes a battle for trading points for survival, among other things. You know, Sharks were one of the 13 teams for survival. Same with King Faisal that we had also played.
So what are you insinuating?
I'm not insinuating anything. I'm only saying that it's no surprise that if you pick the game that Hearts of Oak played with Liberty Professionals, the one that you won the trophy, you know Hearts was leading. Then when Kotoko, and funny enough, that game is supposed to start the same time as the Kotoko game. It delayed, it didn't start at the Kotoko game. Then when Kotoko's game ended, Liberty mysteriously equalized just at the end of the game. But unfortunately, Liberty...
So that answers the Kotoko question that I asked. You know the question I asked?
Yes, I remember the question so well. And I told you that. And I told you that.
Then you started mathematically, and then you went to Hearts of Oak.
Yes, it's because you are refusing to listen to what I'm saying.
What happened with... what was the score?
I said Kotoko lost yesterday by 1-0.
To which team again?
Sharks. And I'm explaining that the last few games, it comes down to trading points for survival, among other things. The sports guys will, and it doesn't take much to look.
So wait, hang on.
It doesn't actually take much to.
So are you attributing the analysis that you've just done to the loss?
I'm saying that a lot of the last 2-3 matches that the various teams have played, they all turned out very, very interesting results that you see. I mean, because in clear terms, if you pick a team like Kotoko, who would be second anyways, and we are not going to be first. But a team needs the points to survive.
So where did you finish off Kumasi Asante Kotoko on the table?
We're second.
You're second?
Yeah, to Accra Hearts of Oak. I mean.
All right. It's a mighty team.
Congrats to
this win is sweet. It's the sweetest. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean.
You guys said we were fighting relegation, like for the first time.
In fact, the facts actually show that proud to Anas cancelling the I shouldn't say Anas cancelling. I mean the Anas documentary that led to the cancellation of that particular season. Yeah. That season has where relegation threatened.
It's true. Yeah. I said February, especially when the resignations came.
Even when Samuel Boadu took over the team, you were not too far from the bottom. And that is why I share in the story that you told about how you can turn things around.
Exactly.
Signings, a new coach coming in, and the rest they say is history. I mean, the hard story is one that we can all pick lessons from. I mean, my worry over the weekend was the fact that Al Ahly, they picked up their 10th trophy, the CAF Champions League. And I saw a post that one of our sports guys, I think Oreku, put out about the fact that when Kotoko had won 2 CAF Champions League trophies, Al Ahly had won just 1. And now it is 10-2.
Now who caused them?
And that is why I'm very excited about what Hearts of Oak has been able to do. But more importantly, the expectation is that they're able to keep the core of their team.
Don't put any pressure on Hearts of Oak.
No, it's not pressure. It's pressure on Ghana football.
You've been there. What were you able to achieve?
We're not able to do anything, but it's pressure on Ghana football. We are not doing well. We are not doing well.
Don't bring your pressure here.
No, it is pressure that Hearts of Oak must accept.
We're in a good place.
Hearts of Oak winning the Ghana Premier League, it's nothing.
Excuse us?
It is nothing for Kotoko to win the Ghana Premier League. The team needs to do well on the continental stage.
I beg, let's stick to the newspapers.
Yes,
why?
I mean, you can all accept mediocrity, but I'm sure everyone will agree with the point I'm making that we need to improve upon our performance.
Well, I agree with you.
Exactly.
I mean,
and the only way to do that is to keep the core of the Hearts of Oak team and get some better players and do well in Africa, because this.
Okay, we don't need your empathy. We don't need your like what you are saying when it comes to our players. Leave it to us. Okay. When it was a rocky period, you guys were laughing and teasing.
In a couple of months.
You didn't think we would be here, so keep that to yourself. We'll manage our own situation.
In a couple of months, we'll come back to this conversation when Hearts is knocked out of the whole tournament.
Wow.
We can now do the newspapers. Or you want to still talk phobia? So
I just want to remind you, we're champions.
Yes, you are.
Phobia. Okay, let's do the newspapers.
Let me start with the Daily Graphic.
Over content.
Yeah, I mean, you have to do the papers anyways. The front page of the Daily Graphic says, President Speaker must deepen peace, Otumfuo urges. An AG petitions court to dissolve KillNet Limited, accuses company of fraud and illegality. And 9 MPs table motion for CSR law enactment also on the front page of the Daily Graphic. The back page has some sports story. Wafa's Paul Hart's coronation party.
Oh, how?
But comes along with a beautiful league table that has Accra Folk on top, with Asante Kotoko placed second. Wafa is third, and the Aduana Stars at fourth. In terms of the teams that will no longer be participating in the Premier League, there is Ebusia Dwarfs, there is Liberty Professionals, and there is Inter Allies. I saw a Facebook post again that gives some interesting statistics about the last time Hearts won the league. 2 Accra-based clubs were relegated as well. And this time around, it's happening again. We have Liberty and Inter Allies being relegated. And so the person was saying that the Accra teams, they have to ensure that Hearts does not win the league.
I think it's the Liberty that is a shocker to me.
Yeah. They've done so well. I mean, it's a powerhouse. They've produced fantastic players, Asamoah Gyan, Michael Essien, Suleiman Tari, Derek Boateng. So it's very unfortunate that they are going down, but I mean, they can always come back up depending on how well they feel about it.
Let's do the Ghanaian Times newspaper on the front page. We will reap full benefit of ACTA if Ghanaians learn French language, according to the president. Okay. Do you speak French?
Un peu.
Okay. All right. I'm not sure we can do well with un peu with AFTA.
Not at all.
It's got to be better than that.
We have to speak like how the president himself speaks.
Exactly. How do we get there, though, since we haven't taken French that serious?
I think our French teachers, I mean, everyone has a bad experience of his French teacher. I mean, our French teachers need to understand and be calm. They don't need to use the cane to force us to understand French. Everyone I've interacted with, they always have bad experience of their French teachers.
I agree. I'm not sure mine is same, though. I think sometimes we kind of also just simply refuse to enjoy the language. Maybe it's the style of teaching, so yeah.
Yeah, it comes back to that
come
same
back
point,
and I agree with you, yeah.
But even how we are geographically located, you know, just in the middle of French. I mean, it only makes sense that we have to. And if you speak French, in fact, if you speak any other language aside from English, Spanish, whatever it is, it's always a plus for you in terms of even job opportunities.
Yeah, I agree with you. Well, hopefully our children are enjoying the language these days. Health alerts: government bans importation of poultry products following outbreak of bird flu in parts of the country. We put the spotlight on this particular subject matter on our show. 6 die, others injured in separate accidents in the Ashanti region. Tourism piracy activities in West Africa. Ghana faces threats from sub-region as attacks increase in Burkina Faso and Cote d'Ivoire. On page 3 on the accident, in the first that took place on Saturday this is a place on the Obuasi-Dunka Road. It resulted in the killing of 3 people with 17 others injured. The driver was said to have lost control of the steering wheel. And then as its failed brake and somersaulted as was heading from Kumasi to Samaboy. And then there was another incident, which was the second one. It took place on the Obuasi Road as well. This is Obuasi Anyankwanta Road. Also claimed 3 lives with 10 injured on Friday. And then where is the third incident? That also occurred. Still reading from page 3 in the Ghanaian Times newspaper. Let's see. Well, I guess I'll leave the rest for you to read on page 3. But this is absolutely disturbing to think that there's an accident, 3 people dying, and then 17 in another one, 10 people. So we're still recording greater numbers with the accident cases, and we've been talking greatly about it. So what is it really? What is it? What do we have to do again? I guess it's just individual responsibilities here, because most of these accidents are totally avoidable. Something could have been done if somebody was extra careful on the road. There's also another story: 2 persons who lured a 20-year-old Beninois to Ghana to be sold for $160,000 to a police decoy have been sentenced to a total jail term of 11 years by an Accra Circuit Court. Hey, this is high-level crime.
Selling a human being.
Yeah. And they brought the person from outside Ghana and sold the person for $160,000. Like, is that where we've gotten to? Things are really happening. Also, the Enchi District Magistrate Court has convicted 2 persons for stealing motorbikes valued at 4,200 at this is a place in the our Win municipality. Details of that. There's an 18-year-old and a 19-year-old involved in this matter. And then the police on Tuesday foiled an armed robbery attack on a victim being trailed by 2 suspects on the motorbike on the Amasaman in Sawam Road in the Greater Accra region. I'm sure you probably heard the story somewhere. Good job by the police. Okay, on the back page of the Ghanaian Times, Hearts crown 2021 GPL champions. And then Accra Great Olympics defeated Dreams FC 2-1 at the Accra Sports Stadium on Saturday to sign off the 2021 Ghana Premier League in style. And then, of course, Joseph has already mentioned it, Liberty Professionals, the Busuma Dwarfs and the Inter-Allies, they've been relegated. They have to go back and fight to return to the Premier League.
Right above them, you see Elmina Sharks right there, 41 points. Same point as Dwarfs. Then you also see.
So if they had lost to Kumasi Atlantic Kotoko,
they would have gone down.
Wow. Hey, so how did Kim Faisal end up being 14 on the table?
Also at 41 points. Then you see Legon Cities also at 42. They actually won yesterday by 3-2.
They played against which team?
It's one of those.
They survived. Legon Cities with all
11 wonders. They played 11 wonders.
All the noise this season. Wow. Oh, and Mediama finished 5th. Remember that our coach originally was a Mediama coach, and they were second at the time that he left the team.
Yes,
and
in fact, you know, the season that was cancelled due to COVID-19, Mediama were actually on top of the league with him as coach. The one that had the Anas documentary led to the cancellation too, they were also leading with him as coach then. And so, I mean, I guess those 2 events just delayed him winning a trophy.
Incredible. The heartbreaker for me is Karela United, because Karela was absolutely spectacular at the beginning of this race. They're 8 on the table. That's where they ended.
Unfortunately.
Absolutely, yeah. All right, that's it for the Ghanaian Times.
Let's do the front page of the Daily Guide now. Government plans new development agenda. And bird flu strikes again, also on the front page. Attorney General moves to close down 3 Ponzi schemes. $5 million bribe against CJ Baloney. That is coming from Abdul Malik Kubako. And privileges war breaks out in Parliament, also on the front page. The back page, Liberty Dwarfs suffer demotion. UG Sports Director serves as technical advisor to Minister. I know this man from Legon. His name was always interesting. Dr. Bella Bello Bitugu.
Oh,
Dr.
I had a
Bella
mate.
Bello Bitugu.
I had a mate back in DHS and Dansuman, Bella Billy Bello.
Oh.
Yeah, this is somebody's proper name.
Yeah, this was Bella Bello Bitugu. He's the director of sports at the University of Ghana. We understand he's been appointed as a technical advisor for the Minister of Sports. Yeah, but a bit of the details in the papers here. So this story about bird flu is on page 6. The Veterinary Services Directorate of the Ministry of Food and Agriculture has announced a bird flu outbreak in some parts of the country. So in a July 16 statement, the director indicated that the highly pathogenic avian influenza disease, otherwise known as bird flu, has been noticed in Greater Accra, Central and Volta regions. And so the outbreak has been observed in some neighboring countries since January 2021. So it goes on to indicate that in a response to the outbreak, the ministry has instituted measures for compliance, one of which is the immediate ban on the import of poultry products from countries suffering the outbreak. A ban on the movement of poultry and poultry products from affected regions and other districts in the country is also being carried out just to ensure that we are all kept safe. So that is some disturbing news for that sector of the agriculture industry there. But this other story about the AG moving to close down 3 Ponzi schemes is on page 3 of the Daily Guide. We are told that the Attorney General's office has filed documents in court to close down 3 Ponzi schemes. The companies have been posing as recruitment agencies mainly in the middle northern belts country and some parts of the Greater Accra, and collecting huge sums from the public under the guise of providing them jobs, especially in the gold and mining sector in particular. The companies, namely QNet Company Limited, based in Techiman in the Bono East region, QNet Investments Limited WA in the Upper West region, as well as QNet Limited based in Kumasi in the Ashanti region. So they appear to be intertwined, looking at their modus operandi. That's according to the story. And so if you are doing business with these 3 companies or intend to do business with these 3 companies, I mean, this would be good advice at this point in time, that the state holds the view that they are Ponzi schemes. And if you go and invest there and you lose your money, don't come crying foul and begging the states to.
How many people have lost even before this announcement, this discovery?
Thousands, I guess.
Yeah. Well, you've been warned. So if you haven't yet, then please don't. You're through?
The center spread, I gave my life to Jesus Christ 3 years ago, is coming from Wendy Shea. And Big Twins Cultural Troop Tours Mexico is also there. And some other stories. SEC reintroduces compliance forum for stakeholders. 13 African heads call for economic recovery. Also another story in the center spread of the Daily Guide.
Let's do the Chronicle newspaper next. On the front page, judge dragged to legal counsel over dead body. One of those bizarre headlines that when you hear, you're wondering. So let's go to page 2, where we have a bit of it. It's a Kumasi-based High Court Judge, Justice George Krofa Adai. He's been hauled before the General Legal Counsel for alleged unprofessional conduct and bias. In a 2-page petition to the GLC cited by the Chronicle, the petitioner, Matthew Kuma, explained that he was a plaintiff in the matter seeking the return of the body of his deceased brother. He said that his brother's dead body was in the custody of Ebenezer Mortuary in Kumasi, deposited by the defendants in the case. And according to Kuma, he had sued the defendant for the return of the body so that the family could bury it. The petitioner indicated in his petition that the case was initially at High Court 5, presided over by Justice Francis Obri, but was subsequently transferred to the Human Rights Court, where Justice George Krofa Adai was sitting. Matthew told in the petition that on the 27th of November 2020, Justice George Krofa Adai set down the issues for trial. Among the issues was whether the plaintiffs were entitled to the body of the deceased. This, he continued, the court consequently gave further directions for the parties involved to file their witness statements. However, before the date given by the judge for the parties to appear was due on December 2, 2020, while the plaintiff and his lawyers were not present, the judge was alleged to have So he handed the body, which was the subject matter of the trial, to be given. So he asked that the body to be given to the lawyer for the first defendants in the case on an ex parte application, and without any trial or determination of the case. It's in the
it's a very strange story. I mean, it's strange in the sense that if the court has given an order, should the process not be that is go to a higher court to seek that aside or appeal the order of the courts? I mean, why should it be the General Legal Counsel?
Well, they say it's a 2-page petition, so maybe there's more. Besides, it continues on. This is on page 2 and 3. No, okay. I think this is all the paper captured, really. But there will be more to what they are asking.
I find it very strange that they would want to take it up at the Legal Counsel. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so that's it. But as I said the other day, there are so many other issues before the General Legal Counsel. It's only when somebody gives a hint to another person and it becomes, news, like it is in the paper today. If you visit their websites and you see the number of lawyers who have even been punished for various reasons. But back on the front page of the Chronicle, I've been told that usually such a headline will come with the quotation. So let's check out, still on the front page of the Chronicle newspaper. 1 Corinthians 11:31, it says, "But if we were more discerning with regard to ourselves, we would not come under such judgment." Hallelujah, somebody.
Amen.
I don't know what this means, but it is the word of God. Okay,
thanks be to God.
KNUST students go gaga over high hostel fees. Welder 40 allegedly rapes woman 95. Oh, God. Government committed to fight terrorism and piracy is also another story. But this story about the 95-year-old woman who was raped by a welder, he's ended up in Sege Polyclinic, or that's the woman who is in the hospital in the Agda West District of the Greater Accra region, where she's undergoing intense treatment. Reports indicates that on Saturday, July 10, 2021, at about midday, the welder, whose name has been given, he's 40, he sneaked into the room where the woman was. She was sick, weak, and unable to talk, and laid on a simple student mattress, and that's where I mean, it doesn't make sense, does it? Absolutely doesn't make sense. But well, this is what is being investigated. So for now, I guess he remains a suspect, and they continue to investigate the matter. Hopefully, we can bring proper closure. But our prayers to this 95-year-old woman who's now having to deal with something extra, considering her age and the condition that she was already in. Students at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology last Friday staged a demonstration over the high cost of hostel fees. They've accused the university's authorities of conflicts of interest in determining prices of Ghana University staff, scheme hostel and others on campus. Details of that in the paper. If you look at the back page of the paper, well, it's all sports, but big congratulations to the only oak. Yeah, the clap from the oak. That's all on the back page of the paper. All right, that's it for the Chronicle.
The last one for me will be that of the Daily Statesman. The front page says, government mobilizes efforts against terrorism, calls on citizen support, and 2022 to 2025 development policy framework to be ready soon. That is coming from Dr. Kojo Mensah Brampa, the Director General of the National Development Planning Commission. And President Commission's National Mosque Complex is on the front page there. I've seen photographs of the edifix. It's beautiful, and especially the aerial shots in the evening. It's very nice.
Yeah.
Crystal Palace, Patrick Vieira will do things his way as new Eagles head coach. It's on the back page of the Daily Statesman. And Tokyo Olympics, first COVID cases in Athletes Village, and Team GB have 8 self-isolating. Also on the back page of the Daily Statesman, Mavi.
All right. Let's quickly look at the Business and Financial Times newspaper. On the front page, poor revenue mobilization will prolong recovery efforts, according to Fidelity Bank report. Tax policy design remains ineffective. Survey is indicating an industry subsidizing residential power must stop. AGI to government. Thousands of jobs at risk as after competition beckons, and PRC's impending major tariff review must correct ills. Only 12% of youth in agric use technology, according to a report. Plenty other business stories in the Business and Financial Times today. Okay, so let's do MyJoyOnline.com. If we may, is there a story that you wanted to highlight, Joseph?
We can do MyJoyOnline.com.
Okay, so we'll do MyJoyOnline.com. But whilst we get ready to bring the page, we have some birthday dedications. And significantly, it's your 60th birthday today, Mr. William Ollins Odro. It's your 60th birthday today, sir. I wanted to wish you a happy birthday today. He's the Vice President of the Ghana Bar Association. And also, I remember sharing this on the show. He was inducted as the Methodist Church inducted Mr. William Ollins Kweku Odro as the lay president of the church conference. You've got a big conference coming up, so I wish you the very best. It's his birthday. If you know him, please reach out and wish him a happy birthday. It will come with plenty of blessings because he's a special man. Happy birthday to Sergeant Albertina Sedro of Police Headquarters, Communications Department, from Constable Asamoah Brights. Okay, now we can do MyJoyOnline.com. Yeah. Okay, so whilst we get ready to bring MyJoyOnline.com, I think I have a last paper that I didn't touch on, which is the Finder newspaper. So here's what's on the front page. COVID-19, ICU cases doubling at an alarming rate, according to Dr. O. And then the bird flu affecting some 10,311 fowls, according to Dr. Abeka. You might want to read a lot more on this issue, but also stay with us because we're discussing this matter. Cabinet tackles terrorism, piracy, which are threatening Ghana, according to the information minister. Mid-year budget review for Riata to seek 6 billion Ghana cedis, over 500,000 jobs for the youth targeted. Banking sector cleanup, lessons for Ghana from convictions in Nigeria. And then President commissions 15,000-seater national mosque, what Akable was referring to, says it's a beautiful piece of arts, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. I saw a write-up on Facebook. Somebody was comparing. So this didn't have any national contribution. This was it the Turkish government that
it's
funded
sponsored
this
by
project?
the Turkish government. I mean, from what I understand, if there will be any form of contribution at all, it may have been the facilitation towards the land, but no, it was purely a Turkish government endeavor. The comparison has been made to the National Cathedral.
Cathedral, exactly.
Under construction. But this has a lot of facilities. It has a senior high school, it has a state-of-the-art library, among other things that will be there. But I mean, the politics of it, people can always do those analyses, but I guess it comes back to the same point again. The Supreme Court says we can go ahead and build a cathedral, whether that should be what we need. I mean, it's all matters that we see out. We don't know how far they are going. When I pass around the place, you know, there's a bit of a fencing around where they are building.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So I see some construction ongoing, but I don't know.
You want to know what's going on? You know, I've reported, I've reported on the progress. I think, when was that? I'm not sure. Was it this year called? I've been there twice.
Okay.
So I could go again because you're asking the questions, so that we can all see the progress.
Yeah, and if you can get the cathedral officials to, they were supposed to be smart and raise a lot of money from the private sector, because we are told our government are just giving some seed money and the land.
You know, COVID slowed down a lot of things, okay? Yeah. So, but we can find out. Let's do MyJoyOnline.com right now. Oh, I get offended when people rate me by my riches. Oh, that's some Jonah opening up. You want to watch the full documentary today, but I'll bring you excerpts ahead of the full one later this morning. Okay, plenty of other stories on MyJoyOnline.com. COVID-19 kills 4 more, sending total number of deaths to 810. ICU cases doubling at an alarming rate. Coordinator for severe and critical COVID-19 cases says. And anyone who knows the CJ will dismiss bribery allegation as fabrication. This was Kofi Bento back on News File on Saturday. 2 jailed 11 years for selling Benenoir to undercover police officer. I shared the story earlier. 25 teenage girls get pregnant monthly. Hey! 25 monthly in Pong Katamaso. Hey! Joseph. 25 girls get pregnant monthly. By the time we're done with the year, how many girls? Oh, wow. Okay. We want to pause and reflect on this particular story and think about how we can all help correct this, because that's not right. We shouldn't even have one girl recording any pregnancy. Absolutely not. Okay. Do you want to say something? How do we fix it?
I mean,
where are the 25 boys who got the 25 girls pregnant?
I think it's and especially when it becomes a problem when it has the potential to affect their education and other things, health and all those things. I mean, it's worrying statistics, and they need to step up education in that particular area.
I'm looking for the 25 boys.
Sure, they are walking around.
Also some grown men in the...
Yeah, going about the activities, and some have denied responsibility, others will take responsibility, others will run away, all sorts of things that will just change people's lives.
May God punish all the boys and girls who are getting innocent girls pregnant and disturbing their future. Stay with us.
Why the innocent before the girls? Just asking. Innocent.
Okay, I've deleted innocent.
Okay.
Girls.
Yeah.
Thank you for the correction. We've got sports coming up. Painfully, Muftau is coming to celebrate Accra Hearts of Oak because we are the champions.